Hello, welcome Solex Nation. There are 6 days left in this month, and that means it's time to
pull your reports. It's as early as it gets to pull your reports.
Yes.
And so we know that with 6 days left, you're like, how am I getting a really good snapshot of this month? Don't worry about it. What we like to do is just remind you to do it. Even if it's 6 days in advance, it's a great time to get an idea of what's going on in your organization before the month closes. Again, remember, you just have to export the report. You don't have to download it. You just go to your back office, get the report, export it under your quick reports, and you're done.
And it's important to pull your reports every month so you can track for your crews.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
I mean, we need to know what our balances are like, how many people we have. Our customers and QLAs are over 100 points.
That's right.
So
That's right. All right, coming up on May 2nd, we are having an exclusive event for those of you in the Legacy group. Now, what is a Legacy group for those of you that are new? It's a group that you are joined when you have a Solex silver coin.
Yeah.
So you can buy that coin, you can earn it by being a top enroller, or you can win it when we give them away.
Yeah, we've done all of those things. And so we have a lot of coins out there, and this is that exclusive event where we've done usually a special dinner for the Legacy group at our Live Dave and Discoveries. We'll do that again. But this event is a private link for that group to view some special content that we'll put together for you.
That's right. And that's on May 2nd, and it's 4 o'clock Mountain Time. We have had a few people call customer support to RSVP. You don't need to RSVP.
Nope.
If you're in the Legacy group, we will send you a link to that special event the morning of. If you don't receive your link by 1 o'clock Mountain Time, give our customer support a call, and we'll get that link to you.
Now, the important thing is obviously check your junk mail, check your spam, and also make sure that you allow Solex communication to you. If you don't do that, obviously it makes it very difficult for us to get anything to you. So we hope that you'll have that all checked and verified before the 2nd and get that link, and just come join us for a little bit of your evening. And we'll have hopefully some great content for you.
Yeah, it should be an hour, or maybe just a little under an hour. So that's what you can plan on. All right, this month we have 2 new license plates.
Oh, 2?
Yeah, 2. The first one is Sheri Clarry, and the second is Shelly Lewis. So we had a Cephi license plate in there, and we had a Solex 1.
Oh, Solex 1.
Welcome to my group.
Yeah. If we're breaking out the Solexes.
Good job, Sheri.
Solex 1.
But
no,
the Cephi is so fun too, and I want to hear.
New one.
It is, and I want to hear. I would love to hear what people say to you about that. What is that?
What is Cephi?
Yeah.
Right.
Very cool. So we'll send you Solex silver coins, and guess what? You get to come to the May 2nd Legacy Group event.
All right. So last week we had a contest. What will you give new life to?
That's right.
It's a new season, right? New season of the year. So this is the time to reevaluate some things and see what should we infuse some life into.
We're going to give 3 people insoles.
Insoles. All right, Diane Mueller. I want to give life to my circulation system with exercise and AO scans. I love the efficiency of that.
Yes, and I want to add in
right to the
pulse.
Point. Yeah, pulse. Pulse is a great one to add to the circulation system. Great. Yeah, me too, all the time.
That's great. All right, next one is Yvette Cunningham. As a caregiver for my husband, I have been neglecting self-care for me. I have not been using my scanner daily or doing the things that will uplift me to be my healthiest self. I'm going to start back doing my scans, making my affirmation playlist, wearing my 660 band, taking my blue, not to be ashamed of my blue tongue, LOL. Hey, it's a badge of honor to have a blue tongue. It is. And getting back outside and grounding in the garden. I have come to realize that good health produces a good life. Solex is going to help me achieve my optimum health. Thank you, Solex. I'm going to go back and watch the old videos and get started.
Good job. Yeah, and get started with some new insoles.
Yes.
She gets insoles to help with that grounding. All right, last one. Last winner of the insoles. This is Tesla Train 119. We just need to know who you are.
Just give us a call.
Just give us a call. The new life of mine is greatly enhanced by the AO scan, which helps me to breathe deeply in every moment when I am gardening, cooking, or playing with grandchildren. I love that. And the focus on breathing in deeply, all of those experiences. That's cool. Great work.
Congratulations, all three of you, and we'll get those insults to you.
Yeah.
All right, top enrollers. We have a huge tie for second place, but this is for April 15th through the 21st.
Okay, and a huge tie, so we have to get through this list.
Yes.
So cheer on everybody whose name is said here. Mary Roman, congratulations.
Stephanie Warner.
Alan Stanley.
Sarah Schaefer.
Heather Plude.
Melinda Liu.
Leigh Carrasco.
I think it's Lee.
Lee
Carrasco, yeah. And Belinda Billinghurst.
Wow, that's a long
list. Congratulations, everyone.
Well, and since you didn't see this name in second place, they got to be in first place.
Oh, she is. Simmons Holistics Inc. She's 5.5 months now.
Months.
In the
not
top
week.
enrollers.
Months
in the top enrollers. So amazing job to everyone. And seriously, kudos to Simmons Holistics Inc. That's incredible.
Yeah, keep it up. Well done.
All right, now we're going to turn the time over to Jennifer Nelson-Hawks.
So last weekend, I ended up helping a friend clear out their garage. You know how it goes. Over time, it just gets filled with all sorts of stuff. Things that they forget they even had. But it got me thinking, it's kind of like what our bodies do, right? We go about our days eating, breathing, and sometimes not even really thinking about what's piling up inside. Our bodies have this really cool way, though, of dealing with it. Though it's kind of like a natural cleanup crew that we really don't have any idea that's going on. It kind of does it on its own. You see, it's called the lymphatic system, which is pretty much the unsung hero when it comes to taking the waste out of our cells that's not supposed to be there. And then there are these big guns that come in, the liver and the kidneys, that filter out all the bad stuff from what we eat and what we drink. While we're there, sorting through years of clutter, we make these piles. A pile to keep, a pile to donate, and a pile to throw away. And it hit me again. Supporting our body's way of getting rid of junk isn't just about some crazy detox trend. It's more about those things that we do every day, like drinking enough water, eating the right food, and moving around to keep the system running smoothly, just like the piles that we made in the garage. It's pretty much like keeping our living space tidy. So you don't end up needing this major overhaul down the line. Just a thought, but it's interesting how taking care of our bodies is a lot like taking care of our homes, isn't it? So let's talk about how this works. The simple ways that we can support our body's natural detoxification processes, just like we do our living spaces. We'll start with the lymphatic system. This network includes lymph nodes, lymph vessels, and lymphoid organs like the spleen and the tonsils. For example, the lymph nodes act as filters that trap viruses and bacteria, while the spleen plays a role in filtering blood and housing the immune cells. Exercise, such as walking or yoga, can stimulate lymph flow, enhancing its detoxification capacity. Much like, have you ever reached up and felt your lymph nodes in your neck? Right? So that's oftentimes we think about that. Then there's the detoxification organs. The liver detoxes chemicals and metabolizes drugs. Now, don't think of this as drugs, but supplements, these can be prescriptions, and it can be other forms of chemicals that we have to take. But what it does is it breaks down toxins and into these harmless substances that the body can excrete. While the kidneys filter blood to remove waste and excess fluid, turning that into urine. Your lungs will expel carbon dioxide, which is a waste product of metabolism, through exhalation. Your skin eliminates toxins through sweat. And of course, consuming rich foods and antioxidants like berries and nuts support all of these organs. Then we get into the digestive system. The process actually starts with your limbic system, which is your brain. So then the consumption of food, that includes the breakdown of food, absorption of nutrients, and it ends with the excretion of waste through your bowel movements. High fiber foods like vegetables, whole grains, legumes, they promote healthy bowel movements that aid in this elimination process through digestion. Then there's hydration, and it has a major impact on drainage. Drinking sufficient amount of water helps to maintain a balance of bodily fluids that facilitate your kidneys' function to filter and eliminate toxins through your urine. For example, the recommended daily intake is about half of your body weight in ounces per water per day. But not all water is created equal, so you really need to know your source of water. Diet and nutrition help to incorporate foods that support detoxification as well. They can enhance your body's natural processes. For example, beets and carrots support liver health, while cranberries and blueberries support urinary tract health and kidney function. And then there's exercise. Exercise is huge when it comes to lymphatic drainage. Physical activity, especially those that involve movement and muscle contraction, can boost lymph flow tremendously. So jumping on a trampoline, like rebounding. It's a specific exercise known to significantly stimulate lymphatic drainage. Then there's the manual lymph drainage therapies. And I love these. This is a gentle massage technique that, when applied with light pressure and rhythmic movements, stimulates lymph flow. It helps to reduce swelling and improve circulation. It's particularly beneficial for individuals with any kind of lymphedema, which is a condition that is truly about swelling due to lymphatic blockages. There's herbs that really help with the lymphatic system. Let me touch on a couple of those. The first one is milk thistle, which is known for its liver protective effects that aid in detoxification. There's dandelion root, which acts as a diuretic, so that's going to support the kidney function, and it increases the urine output to help flush toxins. Then there's green tea. I love green tea. It's rich in antioxidants, and it helps support overall detoxification for the entire body. Then there's breathing techniques. Deep diaphragmatic breathings can enhance lymphatic function by creating this pressure and releasing movements in the abdomen, which helps push lymph through the lymph vessels. So these techniques, specifically found in things like yoga, are specifically designed for this type of purpose. So by focusing on these aspects, you can better understand the importance of how each system flows and how lifestyle changes can directly affect the impact of your body's efficiency in removing waste and toxins. So with that being said, I want to explain how I incorporate one of the massage techniques in my practice and how I talk to my clients about it. And I think it's really important because it's something that you can do every single day. So the first thing I start with is the clavicle region. So these are called thoracic ducts. And you have one that's on your left side and you have one that's on your right side. 75% of your lymph drains through your left thoracic duct. So if you just take your fingers and you put it on your thoracic ducts and you give it just a slight pressure and a kind of a rhythmic motion and you do it around 10 times, what that's going to do is that's going to tell your lymphatic system that it needs to drain, and it opens up draining for the rest of your body. After you do that about 10 times, there's no right or wrong. The only thing is you don't need to go deep. So if you think about the pressure of like how you would feel maybe an avocado, then the next thing we're going to do is you're going to go underneath your jawbone, and you're going to start moving the lymph down to where we just open up in the thoracic. So this is the carotid lymph nodes. So you're just going to move those down, and you'll do that about 10 times as well. Once you do that, then you go to the armpits. Now, if you feel your armpit, you can't really see it in the shirt, but if you feel your arm and there is an actual pit, that's what we want to see. If you have a puff, if you have an arm puff, that is when you have congestion going on in this system. So you'll just take your fingers and you'll just slightly push up and in, and you just do that about 10 times. Now you can do that on each side, one by one, or you can do them together where you're doing it like this. So this is the order. So this is step number 3. You've got 1, you've got 2, now you've got 3. The next phase is going into your stomach. Your stomach holds a lot of lymph nodes. So I like to put one hand above my belly button and I like to put one hand below my belly button. I like to kind of push in, pull up, and around. And I do this about 10 times. So once we do this about 10 times, we're gonna keep working our way down. Now, maybe you've heard that going from your feet up is the way to go, but if you think about a highway and you think about a wreck, the first car has to go first. It has to go through that wreckage first before the last car that's just approaching it. So if you're trying to move the fluid from your feet up before you open up the rest of your body, you just keep hitting congestion, if that makes sense. So after we do the stomach, we move down to the groin area. And what we do is we literally just take your hands and you can kind of like where that crease is in where your leg meets your hip area, you're going to just kind of push. You can also do a little bit of padding if you need to, but you'll do that about 10 times. After that, you'll go to the back of your knees. You'll do the same thing there. And then you can also go to your ankles and do it there and pull everything up. Then you'll go up to the sternum. And I like to just kind of go up and down the sternum about 10 times. And then the last thing you want to do is you need to create a rebounding effect because now you want to get your lymph moving. So you just go up and down on your tiptoes about 10 times. So if you do that at least once a day, if you want to do it twice, that's great. But what you're doing is you're opening up the lymphatic drainage pathways to allow for your body to drain these toxins out with manual manipulation.
I'd like to share with you my experience about overcoming seasonal depression. So I'm from Orlando, Florida, born and raised, and then I lived in Los Angeles for a while. So these are sunny states. Actually, one of them is called the Sunshine State. And it wasn't until I moved to Connecticut, which is a very long, gray, dark winter, that I've ever even experienced seasonal depression. I remember a friend of mine looking at me one day in the middle of winter and she said, "You know you have seasonal depression, right?" And I'd never even heard of that term before. And I looked at her sort of confused. And, I like to think of myself as a healthy person. And I do so many things to try to feel my best and be my best that I was real shocked to hear her say that to me, like seasonal depression. And she was right, though, because all of the winters after that really kept getting worse for me. I would just find that I had no motivation, that I just had like no energy. And it was hard for me to just go about my life feeling like myself. And I would just wait until winter was over to feel like myself again. And then the following year, I would dread winter is coming. And it was just so sad. It was a sad way to live. And it wasn't really the vision that I had for myself, trying to be living in an optimal way. It had even gotten so bad to the point where I asked my father, who lives in Hawaii, to fly me out twice each winter. I would go for Christmas and then I would go again in February just to get through these horrible winters. And I tried so many things. I feel like I've tried everything, all these vitamin D supplements, all these biohacking things. I would try to go stare at the sun when it was out, and it just was minimal in terms of like really moving the needle for me and not having seasonal depression. Last winter, however, was the worst winter that I have ever experienced with seasonal depression. I felt like it had become this downward spiral where not only was I feeling kind of gloomy and down, but I was experiencing adrenal fatigue. I was experiencing insomnia. And I felt like there was nothing I could do to claw my way out of this dark place that I had gotten to. I was genuinely scared. I've never been this down before. And because I'm so into natural health and holistic wellness, I was too stubborn to go to Western medicine and get antidepressants. So I was trying so hard to do all of these different things. I was listening to my inner voice multiple times a day and sometimes in the middle of the night just to get through. And the darkest moment for me was when I was in my kitchen one day And I saw this thought come through in my mind that maybe I would just be better off if I wasn't even here at all. And that really shocked me and scared me. I should not be having those thoughts. Like that was so terrifying for me and scary. But again, I was trying to do all the things, and it was the first time that I didn't feel empowered to like fix this myself with any of my natural remedies or things. So the only thing that I could do towards the end of winter in a desperate attempt was impulsively drive to Florida from Tennessee just so I could get some sunshine. And it did help, I have to say. So fast forward now, we went to Day of Discovery and we were introduced to the Nano line, Blue and Pulse. And then in November, the D3K2 supplement came out. And I said, okay, great. Let me try Solex's D3 because I want to be ahead of this and really try to go through winter better this year. I've tried D3 supplements before and I just never knew if they were really working or not, or how much my body was utilizing it. I wasn't sure if it was working. But with these supplements, it's undeniable because of the nano absorption. It works within minutes. Like you feel it. There's really no denying it. There's an obvious experience because it works so fast, I guess, because of this nanotechnology. I always have anxiety going into winter, but I felt a little more optimistic that I would be trying these new supplements. So I did. I take Pulse, Blue, and D3K2 every day religiously. And this is the first winter that I have not been crippled with seasonal depression. I genuinely feel happier. I have less brain fog. I feel like I'm myself. I feel creative. I feel productive. I feel happy. I didn't have to impulsively drive to Florida. I didn't have to ask my dad to fly me out to Hawaii. And Tennessee still has gray winters. It's, not like Florida. So it was really like amazing to me to, experience this way of going through winter where it wasn't, terrifying and scary. And, now I feel like I'm on this upward trajectory and that I could actually maybe enjoy winter from now on.
All right, Lauren, it's giveaway time.
It is.
Well, not necessarily giveaway. We always announce what we're going to give away next week if they take some action on this call.
Same thing. Giveaway time.
Giveaway time.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that we're the kind of the Santa Clauses around here.
It's awesome. Yeah.
So we talked about D3K2 on this call.
Yeah.
Or like you like to say, R2D2.
R2D2.
So sometimes, it is. The D3 and the K2, powerful combination. And it's no small thing when we put together D3K2 and we added so much more to it. But you know what? There was a study out of Italy recently and it was kind of focused on in a Newsweek article just this last week about how actually D3 impacts or fights the aging process.
Yeah, right.
Now, there's a lot going on in this article and in the research that is behind it. But one of the many things that I found interesting was not just how it helps with the immune system and strengthening the calcium uptake, which K2 actually helps with directing where that calcium uptake is directed toward, but it also indicates the range of D3 used where they found it effective in fighting the aging process. Well, guess what?
It's the same range that we have in the D3K2.
That's exactly right. Yeah. The upper range, in fact, the maximum benefit, or at least that threshold for maximum benefit, is right where we have our D3 in our D3K2 product. That is not just a small thing. I think that's a powerful thing. So not only do you get all of the things that we're trying to get to when we launch this product, but now we get the fighting of the aging process added to it.
Yeah. So what we'd like you to do is send us in your testimonial of what you've had with D3K2 and how it's affected you. And it may be subtle changes, but let us know. Give us that feedback.
Yeah, perfect. On this call, not on the live chat. Wait till the call's over. Comment. Give us your testimonial. And we'll draw 3 people, and we're going to give away
D3K2.
Good job. All right. Okay, everybody. Have a great week.
See you.
Yeah, and now last week we had a
A contest.
thank you.